Hi there, this is Pack down under in Australia off grid. Uh, I started doing a little garden and I will put that other clip up. I haven't put them up yet. But I struggled doing the first one. So this is a star picket. They're metal. You use them for fencing for people who haven't got a clue. Um, because they don't do uh, farm fencing or and they're used. They're called different things in different countries and even different parts of Australia. Some people will call it something different. It has all the holes in it down on one side, and you can thread your wire through, your barbed wire for your animals, um, in whatever distance of wire you want it. Some do 3, 4, 5 runs of wire. Well, anyway, I'm trying to. I thought I'd show you just how difficult putting one of these in. Um, so I've managed to already do one this morning. It's only going on 6:30, so in the morning. So all right. So what you do is, and this will be noisy because it's metal on metal. This is a driver. This is like a homemade one, right? Welded with a really old sledgehammer. That top bit there is an old sledgehammer. You know, solid iron, steel, whatever they used to be made out of steel. I think it's very heavy. All right, so I just lift it up and then let it drop. But the weight of that, and yes, I need to straighten it a bit. All right, so the weight of that will push down. So you can pull it, you can pull this down. It may give a little bit more force, but there's enough weight in that to tap on the top of the star picket to drive it in the ground for me. And it only needs to go in until it's like not wobbling anymore. So this is the noisy bit, and this is the easy bit. That's a bit better. There you go. See, now that's in firm enough. Now, the hard part is I now got to bring the ladder over, and then I have to remove this. Now the star picket goes to here, this thing, right? This goes to here. So this, I have to lift that to the top of that to then get this off, right? So I could try and lift it here, right? But about where this handle is about the top of that. So I can't, and it's heavy. So I can't do it this way. I'm not tall enough, I'm not strong enough. Like, I'm, in my late 60s. So, right, so I'll bring this ladder over. Bear with me. And I need this ladder very close and steady so I don't fall off the thing, because I've got to like virtually get onto this rung. So yeah, I may have put it too close to this thing, but I might be able to move this out of fraction. Now, I'm praying that's steady enough, because I now have to get up here awkwardly. Okay, so I've got to lift it to above here. Okay, going up to the next stop. And yes, I am a little bit scared of heights. Right? But this has to come up. Come easy, come on. Attaboy, attaboy, attaboy. Come on, come on. Keep going. There we go. Done it. Well, now to get down without falling. Okay. Oh, getting caught. Well, that one was actually easier than the other two that I've done. The first one, like, I had problems with the ladder. This, you know, it folds up and stuff. So these were not clicked in properly. So while I'm standing on here, that just went down. So I had a ladder that was going like that. so that then tilted to the ground. So I didn't fall, I just went down gently with it, but it could have been a problem. So now, I just take my bit of shade cloth and for now, I'm just hooking it over there. Right? So now, hopefully, you can see what I've done. The one on the bottom, I need to still stretch it out a bit because that one's a bit loose down the other one. But I've got the 3 poles in, and I've now got a little bit of shade to go over my vegetable garden that I've got the mulch and stuff in, and I've got my seeds about ready to go in. So that's what I've been trying to do yesterday it was a bit late by the time I started that first one. It may have been like past 9, 10 o'clock, and it was full on hot. And when I couldn't get the driver, the yellow bit, over the top of this star picket, this fence post, and then the ladder sort of collapsed on me. It's like telling me, give it a rest, come back later, I was going to do it last night, but had somebody call in. So, and then it was dark by the time, my friend left. So I didn't get that done. So I thought, well, I'll try this morning, see how I go. And I've got the 2 in. And I haven't fallen or hurt myself. So that's always a bonus when you're by yourself. But like, I've never done this before, right? I've watched my late husband do it. I have helped him, put up fences, put up the wiring, strain the wiring, and, for that sort of fencing. And then we had a colour-bond fence. We've put that up, and we've put up like dog fence wiring. So, but I haven't actually driven in the star pickets before, so that's all like new for me. But that's what I mean. Little by little, you just do one little thing each day, and you'll be able to accomplish things that you never thought that you'd be able to do, right? At my age, like, to live off grid, in my 60s, for the first time ever, has been like a I don't know. It's rewarding. It's hard work, and yet it's easy work too, because once you're off grid and start growing your vegetables and start trying to be sustainable, I don't know, like that word, like self-sufficient, and responsible for yourself, you'll find that each day, you don't need to be working 8 hours a day just to have food on the table and a roof over your head. You start with the basics. Very, very, this land, it's very cheap land, but you make something of it, right? Get a block of land, live in a tent, right? Or an old caravan, old trailer, like anything, even in your car, like an old car. You've got a couple of old cars, then, live in them. Like, you can sleep in one, you can, like, sit in the other one. Like, there are things that you can do. Like, you can even put them together and, like, put a roof over them. Like, do something, right? But don't get stuck in the matrix. Don't get stuck in the system. And don't get stuck in, the government control. Because we're not here to be controlled. I've got these little clouds that are just appearing out of nowhere. So just, if I can do it, right? And my husband worked all of his life. He was a motor mechanic, so started with his apprenticeship, and then, never got his own business, but he didn't want all of that, like the stress and the worry and the, having to make sure that the customers pay, and you're having to pay the bills and people at the end of the month. Like, it's not worth it. Truly, it's not worth it. You don't get any time to yourself. We've got mates who have done that or are doing it, and, on Saturdays when nobody's supposed to be in, the boss is still there. Sunday, when you're not supposed to be in, the boss is still there. 8 o'clock at night when the place shut at 5, the boss isn't supposed to be there, but they're still there. All right. So, there are easier ways to live. We weren't meant to be in a city and work, 8, 10, 15 hours a day, because you've got phones and computers now. So you're getting emailed from your boss, you're being text message from your boss, you're getting phone calls from your boss, and or if you're the boss, you're ringing people. Like, they're not at work. So, leave them alone. They are not your slaves. So, it just has to wait. Right? It has to wait till they come in. Okay. All right. I've chatted long enough. I'm going to go and put the kettle on and have my morning cup of tea, which I haven't done yet. But, look, enjoy life. Right? Doesn't matter how old you are, what your fitness levels are, and I have lots of health. Like, I've got bursitis in the shoulder, which is very, very painful. And I'm restricted in how much movement I have of it. I've got arthritis, in just about every joint, right? I have 5 bulging discs in my back, They used to be called slip discs, when, 20, 30 years ago, and then they changed it to bulging discs, and I think they've changed the name of that too now. I've got osteoporosis in the bottom of my spine, in my hip. I have a thyroid that plays up, which I take care of with natural iodine. And I had a triple bypass 14 years ago. So, they wanted to replace a knee, like, about 20 years ago, but I was too young. So I then started managing on my own. So I don't take any medications. Blood pressure, yes, my blood pressure can go up, but it goes up when I'm stressed over something, right? And then it will go back down. So if you're living in stress, you're living in worry, you're living in concern, you're living in fear, all of these are the devil's playground. Like, inside. Step inside. Find the creator. Find you. Find the true you. Right? The true you is a beautiful, beautiful spirit. Right? And just find love, gratitude. Right? And take responsibility for your own actions. Find your morals, your moral compass. Find your discernment. Like your heart and your gut speak to you. Right? Your conscience. If anyone ever saw Pinocchio, there was a little Jiminy Cricket who was that little voice in your head that tells you that's wrong. Right? It'll tell you it's wrong. So if it's wrong, don't do it. Right? Stick with yourself. Don't be a follower. Okay. My blessings to you. Smile, have a good day, and just enjoy life. All right. Take care. Pack out.